Today we're going to be looking at one of the common problems that people run into on modern cars, and that is the windows start getting slow to go up and down. The procedure is fairly easy, but it's just time consuming and just have to be careful. Now, the seals on the doors are a silicone rubber. So to rejuvenate those, you want to be sure you use a silicone spray greaseless oil. So the one I like the best is this liquid wrench. It's again a dry lubricant, but it's specifically for silicone items. Works very well. And you do have to be a little bit careful because you don't want to get it on any of the paint. Not that it'll etch the paint, it's just a pain to get off because of the nature of silicone. So you want to try and be careful not to get it on the paint or on any of the inside parts of the door or door frames as you do this. But in order for this stuff to work well, you have to be able to really clean all your tracks. So the first thing we do is we clean the tracks, and you want to take some time, clean it really well. We'll show you some of the what you'll expect to see as you clean those tracks. Now, as far as cleaning the tracks, there's a couple of ways you can go. There's some good cleaners that you can get at an automotive store that'll do well enough. Personally, I prefer to use a isopropyl alcohol at a real high percentage. The stuff I use is 99.95. You can get those at very specialty chemical stores. You can get those at Granger. You can also get those from Amazon, although the shipping is a little bit iffy on that. It'll take a week or so to get there because it has to be shipped by truck. But we'll put a link in the comments below for the being able to buy a good quality isopropyl alcohol for cleaning. Otherwise, if you get just a good cleaning solution from your local hardware or automotive store, it'll probably work just fine. Okay, so my approach is I like to use a double paper towel, fold it over several times. I get a good soaking on isopropyl alcohol on the top side of it, leaving the bottom a little bit dry. So you'll want to be sure and get the paper towel or whatever you're using thick enough to really kind of fill the channel that you've got in here, and then you're just going to want to work it and just start making sure you're all the way to the bottom, all the way to the far inside, hitting that inside area. You can see after just a couple of runs how much dirt is in that channel. And so, you know, that's rubbing against your window and not making it easy for your window to be able to go up and down. And you want to continue that until you have it fairly clear. I'm going to put some more alcohol on this and hit it again. Again, being sure that we get it way deep into the back, all the way in. And you can see how this inside piece of silicone rubber is moving as I go up and down. It's sliding in back, which means I've got a good pressure and I've got a good run going in there. So you'll notice that it's still pretty bad. So you'll notice that when I pulled this out, that this side, which is on this part of the track, is actually fairly clean. We're getting the dirt off. You'll notice that on the inside right here, which is in the very bottom, that's also fairly clean. But you'll notice we've got a real dark black area here, which means we've got a little bit of a deterioration on the silicone rubber here that we need to get off. Now, it doesn't really matter as far as lubricating it if you have a little bit of residue here like that. You know, and you don't have to get it all off so it's not completely clear as far as this black is concerned. I like to have it a little more off and a little cleaner just because I think the silicone lube sets in there just a little bit better when it's cleaner. So I'm going to continue working on this and see if I can't get it a little bit cleaner than it is right now. Okay, so now we're getting it cleaner. It's getting pretty close. So I think we're going to call that channel there good enough, and we'll move on to the next channels. Okay, so we finished cleaning the rubber tracks for the window, and you might think about if you want to do the bottom ones here. However, these get scraped with the window every time it goes up and down, so you usually don't have too much of a problem down here. Additionally, if you're really going to clean this part properly, you can't get in there without removing the interior door panel. So I don't think it's that important to do. You certainly don't want to grease this, so you want to be sure you don't get any of the silicone oil on this when you're doing the rest of the lube of the rest of the track. But it really isn't all that important to try and clean this. It's not the area that gives the window the most resistance. All right, now it's time to go ahead and start lubing up the silicone and rejuvenating the silicone. So in order to keep it from getting on everything, I put a paper towel down in the track. I make sure I get deep into the track with the spray nozzle and spray lightly into the track. And then we just kind of rub it a little bit, go down, spray again, kind of rub a little bit. And it doesn't take too much. You notice I haven't put tons on there, but it's just important to go ahead and get it in there. You'll notice with the liquid wrench, it evaporates, the propellant evaporates really quickly, and you'll notice that our paper towel comes out pretty clean. Now when you're doing the overhead, be sure you don't spray so much that it drips down. So here I like to kind of go at an angle, so it kind of keeps it up in there, and spray towards the paper towel and kind of keep the paper towel and the nozzle kind of close together. And that way you're able to control the spray, and you're able to make sure that it stays way up into the track. This is fundamentally the process you use. So next time you have slow windows, just go ahead and follow the instructions that we did here on this video. You can get a list of all of the items that we used for this repair, or this fix, in the comments below on this channel. But you just follow through, finish cleaning, finish lubing, and you'll find your windows will work a whole lot better.